Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The decks and dice I'm using, that's going to be listed below. Of course, if you're interested in a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below, same email. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get into the reading you chose. Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for the Aquarius people? Got the rest of the deck over here, but I just got the top. I don't know why I'm making comment to that, but in case you're wondering. Okay. Whatever it is, whatever we're dealing with, the whole reason you're there is because you love it, or you did it one time. There's a lot of love in this reading. It doesn't have to be a romance reading. It could be vocation for some of you, because I feel like there's a lot of you who get involved in certain areas of work. Whatever brought you to it, you had a passion for, you loved it when you got involved in it, maybe for the purpose of making a difference. And that may have worn on you over the years. I feel like the way this reading is going to go is it's kind of like hopefully finding a way to reconnect to that. We'll see as we keep on, because it's good. This is where it started from. It could be romance. It could be you fell in love with somebody. The current energy, though, I'm getting, it's like there's problems, and I'm confused about, like, what am I actually doing here, maybe? Or maybe I'm questioning, like, I know how I feel, but am I feeling this all by myself? Something like that. Where are things going next is the question mark. You got the love with the 4 of Cups. There is a change coming. Aquarius can do fairly well with change depending on what it is, and if you agree with the change, of course. If you don't agree with the change, that's its own story. But I feel like whatever I'm looking at, I see a change coming, and I'm like, is what I loved of this situation even going to be here after this? There's a lot of connections here for you in this situation, romance, business, whatever you got, co-workers. There's a lot of connections that you do enjoy and you would like to keep. But the change is coming forward. I feel like I'm nervous that, like, I don't know if that's gonna be realistic, but I want it to be. You got this card over here. I keep looking at it, but I'm not. And the 15 is the devil card. This is, they call it the shadow. Same thing. Shadow, fear. Sometimes talks about Capricorn energy. Doesn't have to mean you're dealing with anybody who's a Capricorn, but it talks about boundaries, strict boundaries, no patience for people messing with those boundaries. I don't think you want this to change. In fact, I feel like I want more of what it started out as. I don't know if you can hear that. Maybe it's not picking it up on the audio, but there's a tractor driving by. It's quite loud. Getting into the pattern of this situation. Is this a pattern? if it is a pattern, I feel like it's more intense now than it has in the past. It reminds me of like, so for example, just if you were married to somebody, just for argument's sake, it doesn't have to be romance, but maybe you've moved into different places 5 different times, and now you're going to move again, but this time, like every other time you moved, it was within maybe a 40-minute radius. Now it's like we're going to move, 12 hours away from where we are. It's a big change. This is changing my social structure. I don't like this. It could be something like that. It's kind of like everything I love is here. I don't really want this change to happen this way, but I don't know if there's anything I can do about it. And I'm really nervous about what could I possibly be losing here. Is there enough to gain by going along with this? Is there so much lost if I don't go along with this? It seems like it's heavy. Yeah, because I feel like there's big... You got the Death card here in your thoughts with the Ace of Cups. Kind of like, is this next chapter going to be good or not good? I would love for it to still be good, but like there's a big change here and I can't get out of it. One way or another, things are changing is what I keep getting. What is over here with the Knight of Swords? This is usually compatible energy with Aquarius. Somebody else believes in it. It says the Knight of Angels. Angels are swords in this deck. And they're giving you, like, I feel like somebody's trying to tell you, like, this can go really well. This can be a great thing. We can do wonderful things here. I do feel like whatever this is, they definitely are depending on your connection here. Yeah, I also see them already committed to the change at the same time. But they seem to believe you're going to go with them wherever they're going. They're very much wanting you to. There's a lot of love. I just got the Ace of Cups and the Lover's card with them. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of love. That you're very important. Kind of nervous that they're just assuming certain things here. Or taking certain parts of your connection for granted. I'm not really a big fan of that, but that might be a part of this. I'm getting for this reading, that's just a detail of the reading. It's not something to be fixed, at least not by me. Sorry. Not that, y'all know. This, this person is pulling forward. The thing is, even though they're showing you a lot of love and they do care, and I don't see you questioning that, even though they're showing that energy, still feeling alone and still feeling like I have to do what's right for me and I have to make a decision here if I'm going to go along with this or not. They may be just assuming or expecting that you will, but you're Aquarius, you do what you want. So you do, not only do you have options, you fully well see your options, and you know there's a choice to be made. There's other supporting factors around this situation with the community, which it's kind of like the community I have versus the community I need to go towards. With social media the way today is, even if somebody is like 500 miles away, you can still stay fairly well connected with them to a point, There's a social connection here that's trying to help keep things together. I feel like the social connection is trying to help reinforce this. The change is coming, though. I got the King of Fire, and I got the Temperance like this, which is telling me can't just go along with it just to go along with it. The change is coming. 3 of Wands. It's coming. It's happening. It's going to happen. I don't think that's shocking you. But then there's a difficult moment here where it's kind of like, do I feel like I'm being forced into something I don't want to do? And you have the option to just go your own way and disconnect from it. The Star card is your card. That's the Aquarius card. It's hard at this point because it's like, you know you don't have to do what they want. You know you have options. Whether they agree or acknowledge those options is its own category, but you know what you can do. The possibility here is like there's a suggestion to just kind of look at the history of what you're coming from first and just make sure that it's serving you best. Where has this been? Where is it now? Where do you see it going if it continues? If you go along with this, what goes well? If you don't go along with this, in 5-10 years, where do you see yourself? So like both versions. I go along with it. 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, where do you see yourself? If you don't, same thing, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, where do you see yourself? I feel like as long as you add in the history here, you'll know what you want to do. Does this connection mean enough to you to keep going with it? It does feel like it's one of those. Because for some of you, it may be like you look back and you're like, you know, I'm sick of being worked around like this. I'm sick of like how this has been. I have cared about this, I have liked this, but this is how this keeps going. It keeps going this way. It keeps doing this. It's kind of like, yeah, we'll get through this bump too if I want to, but then it'll just be a number of years before it happens again. Do I want to keep doing that? Or you may look back and going, I've had this benefit from this. I've had this benefit and I've had this benefit. And then if I walk away from it, those benefits won't happen anymore. Those benefits will be gone. Am I willing to say goodbye to those benefits? The point of this reading is to help you arm yourself with what you want from it. Not for this reading to decide for you. Not that you would let it anyway. I'm just saying. If you go down this path, though, and you do that self-evaluation, that self-audit, if you will, you... okay, I'm going to go with what they're giving me. You may not realize it, but you'll make that decision. You may not realize it. It's kind of like, if you go through this, you're going to know where your heart sits most. You're going to know where you actually want to be. Even if your conscious brain doesn't accept it, your heart will. And when your heart decides, you're going to just subconsciously start making the decisions to go where you want to go. You're going to follow your passion if you do that. So it's kind of like, all these benefits, I want to keep these benefits. Your heart's going to make that decision and you'll start moving forward with the change. Or if your heart goes, you know what, I've been walked over way too many times. It's just a matter of time before it happens again. I don't want this. Your heart will start taking you down the path of freedom. If you do that process, though, I'm getting your heart will identify with the passion and where you actually want to be, and you'll subconsciously just start going there. You got the Emperor and the Page of Fire. This is action that's just naturally going to happen based on your passion. That's what they're saying is going to happen. No matter what path you choose, I also do feel like you're making the point, because you will kind of stammer for a minute as you make your decision. Success will happen for the other person one way or another, whether you're there or not. And they're going to learn a lesson one way or not. It may be the fact that like you're going to hold back and they need to see the power you actually have, whether you do or don't go along with them. This is also there, like they need to think about how they're running the show here, or how they think they're running the show. Their heart is very much involved with this situation, and they need to kind of think about how this has gone through. They need to realize wherever you've gotten to at this point, they participated in that, and they're a factor in why you're feeling the way you're feeling. So there's a part of that here too. So they may have to, well, they don't have to do anything. They might benefit from doing their own self-audit about how things got where they got anyway. And by you stammering and holding off for a second going, well, wait a minute. you want to leave today, I'm not leaving for a week if I do. So you can go right ahead. I'll let you know in a week if I'm coming or not. They might need that time to really realize that, they just expected something here that they shouldn't have been expecting. Maybe they didn't communicate as well as they should have. Maybe they didn't consider your feelings as much as they should have. And whether you do meet up with them or not, this should have a change or an evolution for them to realize that they need to think about those things a little bit more, whether it's with you or, well, not only with you, but with other people as well. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.